Sweet.
Let's see, I got that running.
Hey.
Yeah, good. Okay, so we're both in there, centered, everything good. All right, cool. And then I'll I'll have this paper, but I'll probably zoom in on you once so it doesn't. I'm not reading straight off the thing, but I got the camera rolling and everything.
Cruz Coach! Yeah! I love you, Coach Cruz. I love you. I just can't get away from a good time. Coach Cruz, like, subscribe, share.
All right, hey everybody, welcome to Coach Cruise. For those of you new, I am Brad, and I am on the Carnival Venezia, and I have the pleasure today of having the cruise director, Mike Diaria, with me, and we're going to ask him some questions. But first, I want to start off, like, when did you first come on the Venezia? And
So I first got here on March 9th. I was originally supposed to go back to the Carnival Radiance because I already did pretty much a year over in Long Beach already. They were going to send me back there for the Radiance for one more contract, and then they decided to switch up the schedules and stuff. And 2 weeks before I came on board here, they decided, hey, we're going to send you to the Venezia. We're like, okay.
all right, and so I mean, it's obviously a newer ship to the Carnival fleet. That along with the Frenzy. So yeah, it's definitely a different experience. But let's jump into. I got at least 7 questions, and maybe a couple more will come about organically for Mike here. But let's find out all about Mike here. So question number 1. So now you've been a full-time cruise director for about a year or so.
Yeah.
And like most cruise directors, you started on the Fun Squad. How has the transition been for you? Do you feel you have a firm grasp on everything now as compared to when you first started?
Absolutely. The transition from when you first start as a CD to just experience after ship now is you learn so much every ship you go on. So my last Fun Squad contract was on the Carnival Celebration. When I was part of the inaugural team on that, I learned under Lee and I learned under the Flying Scotsman. Okay. So I learned a lot under them, and they kind of like molded what they had, because the person like I have to give everything to that I've learned the most was Mike Pack.
Okay.
I learned so much from Mike Pack, and then I went to work under Lee, and Lee took the mold that was there, shaved down the edges, make it nice and smooth, and then Chris just put that little extra flair into it. Very so cool. After the celebration, my first time really covering was on the Carnival Glory.
Okay.
I did a 3-week cover over there, then actually flew back to the celebration because I was going back as Fun Squad, and then that contract ended, and then I was supposed to go to the celebration again as Fun Squad, but they asked me to step up to an acting cruise director position, which was to the Carnival Magic, and that was my first 4-month contract as a CD. So from that contract to where I am now, you learn so much, and you just learn so much from just being part of the job. I'm a very visual and active learner. Like, I have to actually do the job to learn it. Like, I can't, if I read something and do it, it's completely different if I do it 2 or 3 times and actually really get into it. So the amount you've learned just from talking to different guests, seeing what the guests enjoy, the different demographics, because I went from Norfolk, Virginia to Miami, all the way out to Long Beach for a year, now out of New York. It's every demographic is different.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Well, what about this? And this is one of those organic questions that
I love it.
into my head. So like I went to the Rock and Glow, and Mike and the rest of the Fun Squad did a great job with that. It was a lot of fun. But I guess my question is, when you first start as a cruise director, you probably have the nerves, like, oh, am I going to be doing this right? Am I going to have enough energy? Whatever else like that. So how does that evolve to where it's just natural? Like you just go out and I've done this so many times. Like I'm not stressed about it compared to the first couple times you were leading the Rock and Glow or something like that.
Well, because we make all our own playlists and stuff. So the first time you go out, you're like, oh, the guests are really going to like this. Are they going to enjoy this song? And then the more and more you do the parties, and more and more you do anything, you get more and more comfortable with it. So I know when I say this phrase, I know it really works better than if I say this phrase.
Right.
Or how maybe like I know what I want to say, but I got to change how I say it so the guests really enjoy it.
Okay.
Just different ways. Like every CD puts a little different flair into the party. Like my party has evolved from the Magic all the way to now. I think I've changed it at least 10 to 15 times.
Okay.
Just changing the order of the song can change how the party goes.
Right.
So just evolving the party with the times. If people are saying they want this song a lot more, then put that song in your party. You evolve it. So like it's I still get those nerves when you like first step onto a stage. Like, you're still always gonna have that. It's just little nerves, like, oh, are they gonna enjoy me? Are they not gonna? Are they gonna have a good time? But nowadays, as soon as the lights hit me, all those they just go away, and you just go out and you be you. That's one thing about me that I love how I am as a CD is I'm very much just me on stage. Me on stage is the same person who get off the stage.
Sure.
Like I always tell people, like, what's your gimmick? What do you want to do? I'm like, I'm just the boy next door. That's how I am. And anyone in the Fun Squad who've worked under me, it's the same exact person on stage as off.
Very cool.
That's just the natural flow of how I host. That's what I like.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's get to the next question. You mentioned the celebration. I first met you on the celebration while you were working under Lee Mason. And Lee and I are friends, so I love him. He's a genuine human being.
Yes.
Very cool. How did working under Lee help you make a smoother transition to cruise director? I know you mentioned it briefly in talking about Mike Pack, and well, you kind of answered this question mostly, but you know, if you want to touch on it a little bit more.
I can dive into the Lee. Truly, I have to give so much to him for what I am today. Lee taught me. This is gonna sound funny, but Lee taught me how to talk. Okay. Like, Lee taught me how to present. Like, Lee is the one where he could do a TED Talk and you would want to listen for over an hour and be into it. He taught me how to present. He taught me how to stand on the microphone, command the stage, and keep everyone interested. So, like, my military appreciation, or when we used to do the Fun Aboard, Fun Ashore show, was truly based off of how he used to host it. And I've obviously made it into my own way. Right. But the fundamentals of it were what he used to do, and because it just grabbed me in as a Fun Squad who's seen it 10, 15 times. Sure. And every time he did it, it was just different. Okay. But like the structure of it was the same, and it just kept grabbing me in. So he truly taught me how to talk. Like that's how I say it.
And I remember the first time I saw you were like in some of his videos when he went out and did excursions and stuff like that. So that was it. But yeah, I do remember seeing you there and everything. And then I saw you again before you became active cruise director, because by chance one of my Facebook admins, Mike, he had a birthday cruise on the Glory, and I'm like, oh, that's right, I was over the Fun Squad or whatever. So that was kind of cool.
That's funny, yeah.
Yeah. All right, question number 3: if you could only host one deck party, which one and why?
If I could only host one deck party, now. Honestly, we used to do it up on the Leo deck. We moved it down to the atrium now, but I would move it back in a heartbeat. Is our Hot White Night party. Okay. That is one of my favorite parties because every CD does it differently. Okay. Like there's no it's not like an 80s party where we're doing 80s music, or a 70s and Motown party where we're doing this. The White Night can be your own party, and the way you build it, the way you structure it is full on how you want it. And that's one party. Like we're doing it this cruise actually tonight actually. Yeah. And it's one of my favorite parties I do because like I said, we do 70s and Motown, we do 80s, and tonight like during the White Night I celebrate the 90s. So we go through 90s. 90s is my era. I'm a 90s baby. So that's me. So and it's just me in a party.
And it's honestly nice hearing a little more modern, movies. Sometimes I love the 80s. I was a rock and glow, and I mean that's fun, and you get into that. But and sometimes it's like, okay, we've done the 80s enough. Let's hear a little something more. And
that's what I do. And that's what I do in my White Night. Like I go from the 90s to the 2000s to even the 50s to back to the 2010s even. Like I go all over in the party, and it's just what I enjoy.
Yeah, well, no, that's great. All right, well, let's move on to the next question. What do you feel many cruisers miss that you think they'd love on the Carnival Venezia? Because Carnival Venezia is a different ship. It's unique. One thing I'll say before Mike gives you his answer is Guy's Burgers. They have the Smoots burger or something like that, and they have the pepperoni burger. Like Guys, I wish they would add those 2 burgers like for the rest of the Guy's Burgers, because those 2 burgers are so good. But that's and the Mile High Gelato Pie. Those are my recommendations for you all before Mike tells you what you're missing out on here.
Honestly, you copied what I was going to say. The food on this ship is unreal. Like the Italian style in different venues we have. Like here we don't have a Pig and Anchor. Right. We have La Strada, which is our version of it, but it's still Italian style. Instead of like normal sausages, we have the Italian sausage links. We have the Italian flair to it, and it's so good. El Viaggio. It's only on us on here on the Venezia and the Firenze, and that is my favorite specialty restaurant. Yeah, El Viaggio. So you mentioned the Mile High Gelato Pie. Like, so if you go for the first time, that's tradition. You have to get it. Yeah, you have to get it. But honestly, the other thing people are missing on this ship is the entertainment.
Okay.
We have so much entertainment on this ship. Like one example is most Carnival ships will do. Each comic does 5 shows. Here they do at least 7 shows.
Oh wow!
Every time they come on. So that's something different that Venezia does. We have some of the newer shows here on board as well, but we also have some of the Italian flair. Like we have the Festa Italiana, which is a dance class taught by your amazing Playlist cast upstairs. We do a gelato eating competition. We do a terracotta trek, and we have all these different Italian style stuff on this ship that's only here in Firenze. But on the Venezia, you get so much extra entertainment. Like Firenze, you have 2 of our amazing shows. Here we have 4 Playlist production shows.
All right.
So there's always something for everybody on the ship.
What's your favorite of the shows?
My favorite show? That's a tough one. So I've seen Vintage Pop before. I've seen Epic Rock before, and I've seen Color My World before. Okay. When I came to this ship, it was the first time I see Broadway Beats, and I have to say Broadway Beats is my favorite.
Okay.
I love Broadway. I love Broadway musicals, and watching the show, I can point out, okay, that's the show. That's from this Broadway.
And you're from New Jersey.
I'm from New Jersey.
You're required to say that.
I'm required to say I like Broadway and stuff. Yeah. Like I've grown up on Broadway. My mom was very big into Broadway, and she grew me up and my brother up on Broadway. So we used to take a trip once or twice a year up to New York. I mean, 2-hour drive.
Okay,
that's nothing at all. We'd go up, spend the day in New York, and see 1 or 2 shows while we were up there, and that's something we always used to do. So seeing Broadway Beats, I'm watching. I'm like, oh, I've seen that show. I've seen that show.
Very cool. All right. Well, yeah, let's move on to the next question. Obviously, the Venezia does a number of different ports, but what is your favorite port while on the Venezia? What port do you enjoy the most?
I like that. My favorite port that the Venezia does is definitely San Juan.
Okay.
I love San Juan because San Juan, there's loads of different things to do.
Okay.
Like my favorite thing to do in San Juan is just go out, walk, find a restaurant, find a random restaurant. Every time I go, it's a different restaurant. Find a random restaurant and just have a local cuisine because the food in San Juan is so good.
Yeah.
And you walk down Old San Juan and you see all these different shops. You go into the different shops, you see the different restaurants, you have the local drinks and stuff like that. That's why I love San Juan because it's a nice, relaxed day for me out. Like I can go out, turn my brain off for a little bit and just relax in San Juan. That's what I enjoy most about it.
Yeah, no, I mean that is one thing. Like foodies and traveling, you get to enjoy that food and different cultures of all the different islands and stuff. So absolutely. All right. So next question. Something unique about yourself you are rarely asked that you feel many would find surprising.
Something unique about myself. So I guess something very unique about myself when I go home, I'm actually like a blue collar worker. Okay. My buddy is a full-time electrician, and when I go home, I go work under him. Just to keep myself busy. I go home for a week or 2 and I'll sit, not really do much, and then I'm like, okay, I gotta do something. Do something. So I will go and work under him for a month and a half, and just be like, and it's good because once I'm done with ships, hopefully in the next 10 years, or hopefully I last at least the next 10 years. On ships, like it's a trade I can go into and I'll know like the back of my hand.
No,
that's something that a lot of people just don't expect because even back home, a lot of people know me as an electrician and stuff like that, but no one really expects me to be a performer on stage. So it's like on ships I'm one person and back home it's like I'm another, but I can do both and I enjoy both. But not a lot of people really know that back home I used to be like even a maintenance guy. I used to be a maintenance man at a summer camp. I used to do all these kind of things, and I enjoy working with my hands.
Well, you just gave me another question I want to ask you because the region you're from, there's a lot of teams in that area. What are your favorite teams that you support?
So I am full blood Philly fans.
Okay.
So Philadelphia Eagles. We've had some good years. So the Eagles, the Flyers, Sixers, and the Phillies. Those are my top teams.
Okay. Very cool.
And I've been a diehard Flyers fan since I was yay high.
Did you play hockey?
I played hockey for a few years. I was a goaltender.
Oh, good.
I was a goalie. I played for about 6-7 years.
Okay.
Enjoyed it. Loved it. I would love to go back and do a rec league like when I can back home and stuff like that. But
yeah, that's a lot of fun. All right. And then this is the last question, unless we come up with another organic one here. But what has been your most embarrassing moment as a cruise director to this point?
I saw this question. I was like, oh no. So the best part about this is no one got it on video somehow. So it's not out there anywhere.
All right.
But it was my first contract on the Carnival Magic. My first contract is a CD, acting CD, proving myself. And I was up on the Leo deck. I was doing the mega deck party.
Okay.
On the bench, jamming out, doing everything I can. And there was for some reason, just this little kid that was running in front of the bench the whole time, and I think I was doing the Cupid shuffle, and I was kicking, and I was trying not to kick this kid, and I took a step back. I took a step back a little too far, and there was no bench behind me, and I ended up falling in the pool.
That's funny.
Fully clothed, microphone in hand, everything on, in the middle of the deck party. Full on, just fell right into the pool. The whole deck like stopped, and they all came checked me. I got right back up, stood on the bench. I'm like, I handed it to one of my fun squad. I'm like, take I'm done. That was the moment where you just, the people describe you just want the floor to swallow you. That was that moment. My moment there. I was like, ooh.
Well, that's funny because the good news is you're not the first to do that.
No, I'm not.
I interviewed somebody else, and they had the same story. Jake, the cruise director.
Yes.
Yeah, I know he just left Carnival or whatever, but yeah, he had the same story. He said that was what. But the thing is those benches aren't very big, so I'm surprised you're able to get up there and do everything that you all do, dance wise and everything. I'm surprised more people don't fall off. So I can't even blame you for that.
That's why I love Venezia. I have a full stage here.
Yeah, there you go.
I have a full stage, and I'm not even near the pool.
Right, absolutely. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this interview with Mike. He's going to be around. Like I said, he's just starting, still relatively new to the cruise director world, but I can tell you from the shows I've seen, the energy, the fun, everything that he's bringing along with his fun squad has been top notch. And everybody just seems to have a great time, with the shows and things like that he's leading. So it's been a pleasure, and thank you. And we'll see you at the White Night party.
I'll see you at the White Night tonight.
All
Thank
right,
you so much, Coach.
That's it, everybody.
Peace, everybody.